We are talking all about foundation in this video, and I hope at the end of it, you feel like you know either how to find a new foundation for you or how to apply it beautifully and flawlessly. Foundation is one of those makeup products that when it's wrong, it's really wrong, and it's hard to make anything else on your face look good, right. It's like the first thing people see if it's not done correctly. So I'm gonna talk to you about how to find the right foundation shade, how to find a foundation shade from another brand if you already have a favorite, but we'll jump into that in a little bit. When it comes to foundations, there are so many options. I can totally understand that it's overwhelming. There's matte finish, radiant, dewy, there's loose powder, cream foundation, stick foundation, there's liquid foundation. So if you are a person that's like, I don't know where even to start, it can be a really daunting process. In general, I find liquid foundation is easy to use. You can kind of control the coverage amount. It's the type of product I've been using for a long time. And if you're brand new to foundation, I would steer you in that direction. But like I said, with trial and error, you can figure out the right coverage option and the right product style for you. I always like to have a medium coverage foundation in my makeup bag because it gives me options to build it up if I need a fuller coverage, or I can just wear a light layer and it can be more on the sheer side. I personally like my foundation to look like skin just a little bit better. I like a natural or radiant finish. I like my freckles to show through. But on the times that I need a full coverage matte foundation finish, I know where to go for that as well. So if you're looking for a daily sheer tinted moisturizer foundation or something full coverage if you have an event or you just need that one go-to foundation whenever you want to wear makeup, I'm going to share a couple helpful tools you can use to find the right foundation for you. So one of them is going in the store and having your foundation matched to your skin in a Sephora store. And the other three, I'll show you how to use them online. The first one is the Find Your Shade tool, and this is something you can use if you already know your shade in another foundation, another brand. So you click the Find Your Shade feature on the new foundation that you're looking for. You say, let's get started, and then you pick whatever brand of foundation you already have. Click on that, and it'll take you through the process of entering in which shade you are in that foundation, and then it'll tell you what your shade would be in the new foundation you're looking for. Another tool Sephora's website has is the Complexion Routine Builder. And if you're like me and you loved those quizzes that you could take in a magazine when you were a teen, you would love this Complexion Routine Builder because it's a quiz. So it's also on the website. You hit take the quiz and then answer questions like, do you want clean products or you're cool with whatever? Is SPF important to you? What type of coverage do you want? Do you like a matte or natural or radiant finish? What is your skin like? Is it dry? Is it normal? And then it brings you to a question. You wanna check out products that are best sellers, top rated, Sephora's picks, so you can choose from there. So then after you answer all the questions from the quiz, it will build your routine for you. It'll give you a primer, foundation, concealer, and setting powder and spray, and then also recommend some brushes as well so you can have the whole lineup to work with. The third tool on Sephora's website is the Foundation Finder, another quiz, so it's right up my alley. It starts by asking you your skin type, dry, normal, oily, and then how much coverage you're going for, if you want SPF included in your foundation, or if that's something you do in your skincare routine completely separate. It'll ask you again about what type of coverage you're like, and then it'll give you a bunch of options based on how you answered that quiz. So I'm looking here at the options it presented to me, and the number one foundation it said I would like is one of my number one personal foundations. So these quizzes are alarmingly accurate. So I'm gonna be using Sephora's Best Skin Ever Longwear Foundation. My shade here is 22.5. Whenever I'm applying foundation, I always like to pump it on the back of my hand. That allows me a lot of control over how much product I use and also lets me distribute it all over my face before I start buffing it in. So I've got it pumped on the back of my hand here. I'm taking the brush and I'm just gonna dot the product all over. Instead of starting in one section and then trying to pull the foundation all over, I dot it to give me a little bit of product to work with as I work around my face. So I have foundation all over my face. Now I'm gonna use soft circles and just buff it into my skin. I'm not pushing really hard. I kind of have a light touch because I don't wanna push the product away. I just wanna soften it into my skin. And whenever you're applying foundation, you always wanna make sure you're looking at the edges, the bottom, the top, your whole face, not just front and center. So go ahead and turn your head, get your ear, bring a little foundation onto your ear as well so it doesn't look like a strong line where it ends. You've probably heard that about the jawline, but the ear is also one of those forgotten areas when you're applying foundation. So I'm also continuing to do soft circles around my mouth. I usually go onto the outer part of my lip a little bit just so it all blends seamlessly and there's not a gap without makeup when the rest of my face is finished. And when it comes to the jawline, I like to pull it down. And then come back to this area after I've put foundation everywhere else on my skin. So whatever's left on the brush, I can just continue to buff into the bottom of my neck so it blends seamlessly. You've all seen it, and maybe you've experienced it, where there's a really harsh line where it looks like your face is completely separated from your neck. It's not good. I've been there. And the worst is when you're having a photo taken and you look back and you're like, why didn't anyone tell me I had a huge line on my face? So always making sure to pull it under your jawline, onto your ear, go into the edges of your hairline just a teeny tiny bit. That'll make your foundation look flawless and seamless. So you can see I'm taking the brush and blending the product all over. I always start with foundation, even before concealer, because it's the most aggressive part of my makeup routine. I'm covering my whole face. I'm even getting my eyebrows, my brow bone. I'm not necessarily pulling it onto my eyelid, but I want an even canvas with product on my entire face so there aren't any gaps or holes. There's not any product collecting anywhere. And once you find a great foundation that works for you, that's the right color match for you. Like I was color matched with this foundation using those tools on Sephora's website. It should look like your skin, but a little bit better. So once your foundation is applied and you're happy with how it looks, you're happy with the coverage level, you feel like you've gotten all the corners and edges of your face, you have a flawless finish, you can move on to the next steps of your makeup. I always like to do foundation before concealer because you could see I was taking the brush and really buffing the product into my skin. So next up for me is gonna be concealer, and then I'll finish the rest of my makeup from there. I hope this video has been a helpful resource for you if you're looking for a foundation. From how to apply to those tools I showed you, it's so easy, and I did them. And each quiz or process presented me with foundations that I have and love. So I've tested them all. They actually give you really, really great recommendations. So check those out. Sephora's guide for getting your foundation right exists to help you make this process so easy so you can always have a foundation in your makeup bag that you know is gonna match well and work perfectly for you.